Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard that the budget for the judiciary is rather unspectacular from a financial perspective, which provides the opportunity to make some fundamental comments on the precarious situation of the constitutional state in Germany. And in this respect, as we have already heard from the AfD, things are looking very bleak in many areas and very unworthy of a constitutional state. Ladies and gentlemen, this is because, to put it bluntly, the cartel parties, I won't say cartel parties, I will say clan parties, and I won't look at anyone or point fingers, but in any case the ones I just mentioned have not only plundered the state, but also a formerly self-confident, very good judiciary that was free from political influence. They have also made it subservient and turned it into a social and restructuring case. That's why right at the top, we heard it from the Federal Constitutional Court, whose judges are of course formally elected in some way, but in reality all 16 judges are distributed and contrived among those who have been in power somewhere for decades according to an arbitrary distribution key agreed upon by them and without any legal basis, and then they are appointed, so to speak. So you can't really talk about an election in the sense of a selection, and the Federal Constitutional Court has been suffering from this for many, many years. And that's what we at the Alternative for Germany want to change. No influence of the political parties on the selection of constitutional judges. Quality before party affiliation. That applies to us and we will implement it when we govern in Germany. The public prosecutors' offices, who are bound by instructions and who alone have the right in Germany to conduct criminal investigations and bring charges, do nothing. Nothing happens. It is also practical that from the perspective of those who are always in power somewhere, you always provide justice ministers who are in fact the top public officials of a country and can ensure that the separation of powers in Germany has become more of an empty phrase and that, unlike the government, the citizens are not protected, but the government is protected and the citizens and the opposition are harassed by public prosecutors who are bound by instructions. And the forward-looking citizen, in order to at least make a good visual impression during morning house searches, places his bathrobe next to the front door before expressing his opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, he makes sure that when he wants to express his opinion, as the basic law stipulates. In contrast, the quality Democrats who are always in power somewhere usually get away scot-free. Those who really have their hands dirty and have pledged money for corruption get away with it. Where are the investigations and indictments and convictions against Merkel, who is responsible for millions of breaches of the law in Germany? She has made hundreds of thousands of criminal offenses possible through her policies. Murders, manslaughter, rape, robbery, theft, assault. Their cronies in the CDU, CSU, SPD, FDP, Greens and Left Party are all still walking around free. A single investigation has been initiated, thanks to the public prosecutors' offices that are bound by their instructions and have them under control. Where are the investigations and indictments, convictions against Lauterbach, SPAHN and company for conceivable vaccination offenses, deaths, lifelong leaders, vaccination victims, embezzled tax money and corruption? Nothing has happened, none of it thanks to the public prosecutor's office that is subject to their instructions. Let me just say one thing. In a functioning constitutional state, almost all of those I have just mentioned would be in custody, at least, and have been for a very long time. And we are fighting for a functioning constitutional state here and in the future. Every civil servant will be held accountable if they make a mistake. This does not apply to ministers. Billions wasted through austerity measures, hundreds of millions wasted through Scheuer. This is not being pursued at all. We have a motion here next week to at least initiate the suspension of the statute of limitations for the criminal case against Scheuer. We hope you will agree to it. We hope that you value a functioning legal system. Look how we from Alternative for Germany are doing. Your speaking time has expired, Mr. Brandner.